Happy Friday night. Okay, so it looks like that's set. Or whenever you're watching this, because you obviously can watch this on replay. Just waiting for the live stream to come up here. There we go. That way I can see the chat with all of you. Okay. So we'll just take a minute. So I'll talk about this again, but so tonight is April 9th. I am moving in less than a month. And one of my goals tomorrow, hopefully, is to pack up quite a bit of my scrapbook room. I think I'm going to keep, I have two cropping bags that I'll put scrapbook supplies in, and perhaps keep out my kit, my Chamel kit. So hey, Julie, good to see you. So perhaps keep out my Chamel kit, and that's all I'm going to have to scrapbook with. Now, I don't know that I'm going to do any scrapbooking in the next 3 weeks or so. Hey, Glenda, as I finish packing up and getting ready to move, but I'll have it. And more importantly, when I get to my new place, because my desk will go together really quickly, when I get to my new place, that will give me some scrapbook supplies to work with when I get there. So, hey, Melissa, I work with Marissa. That's why I think I said that, but hey, Melissa, good to see you guys. And there's Cynthia. Yes, exactly. Hello, Kelly and friends, because we've got some friends here. So I was just saying that I'm going to pack up, I think, at least begin to pack up most of my scrapbook room tomorrow. Sad, that's always a hard thing. And when I moved where I am right now, I moved into my mom's condo. So my stuff stayed packed up in boxes except for personal stuff. And I just moved in. So my scrap room was one of the first things I unpacked once my clothes were unpacked. So anyway, oh, Melissa, that's funny. I actually worked in an office not that long ago. I guess it was long ago, but right before I became a massage therapist, where in our office we had Kelly, Cindy, Marissa, and Melissa. And let me tell you, it's a good thing we were all sober. Anyway, so when I moved here, it was pretty easy to unpack. I'm going to have like important things like a kitchen and clothes and making sure I have makeup unpacked to go to work and that kind of stuff when I move. But as soon as I can, and getting my internet set up, I'm going to try to do that before I leave here. But we'll see how that goes, because best laid plans, right? So anyway, I wanted to let you guys know that I'm not quite sure if we're going to do any more Friday Lives for a while. It might be a month or so before I do another Friday Live, but I do have videos set. So you guys will see 2 videos a week from me, just like you always do on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So that is all good. The other development tonight is I'm going to be using this Tombow permanent adhesive here. And I stopped and bought this at Joann's today because I couldn't remember. I used to use Tombow, but it didn't work well with my photo paper. So I started using the ATG, which is kind of to my right hand. And I've switched photo papers, so this shouldn't be a problem now. But normally, of course, I'm using my ATG. Why am I not using this tonight? It's because my right wrist and hand are injured. And I injured it doing the lightest technique that I do as a massage therapist. It literally is the pressure of a nickel nickel on your skin. It's called craniosacral work. But what happened is a client's head flipped really quickly. That can happen in that technique. And my hand went like this, and she pinned my hand and wrist, and I wasn't ready for it. Normally I take care of that. So I've been having problems all week. I've been doing massage and cupping and icing and heating, and I saw my chiropractor today, and boy, was my wrist a mess. But anyway, I'm having a hard time. Anything at all heavy is really hard for me to hold on to. So I'm intending to try to pack my scrapbook room. We don't know if that's going to happen tomorrow. But so I decided holding that ATG tonight probably would be not advisable for me, that I needed something light. So that's why I'm going to use the Tombow. And I did come home today because I could not remember if I had my, just the body of this without the refill in it. And I did, but I just bought this regular one. So I might stop back tomorrow and get some refills, because this also would be really easy to just pack in my little cropping bag and not worry about my ATG, and then that could just be packed. So anyway, tonight I'm going to use this piece of paper. So sometimes I like to challenge myself to use something unusual. This is it. So this is a paper by Reminisce. It is the Florida Cut Apart. And I like this side, except for this. And it's not that I don't like this. I use this in a 12 by 12 sheet already, and it would be in the same general vicinity in my album. So I'm thinking I'd like to do something about this. The cool part about this paper is, so this is my friend that I go a couple of years, and I took this photo of her for something to send to a friend, and I thought it was a good picture of her. It was cold or cool. I was there in January, so it was in the high 60s, which when you're out on a boat on the Gulf, that's chilly. So we were in like little blankets and stuff like that. But I wanted to talk about how grateful I am for her as a friend, but just also, the time that we had. Now, I don't love this, and this paper has two sides, but this is like not something I want to replace, if you understand what I mean. Like I like this, but I love this. And so I think that would be cool to go somewhere in here. This as well, I really like, that could replace that. So I think the cool part is I have an extra piece. And the other neat part about this is this friend bought me this paper at a scrapbook closeout thing. She gave me, I'm not kidding, it was a stack of paper this high. Actually, it was probably this high. It was huge. It was over 200 pieces of paper. So I think it's cool that I can use this on her layout. So what I'm going to do is cut off this border first and see if, I think it works if I just replace this piece with this. I do love this as well, but if I put the chair piece here, the chair will face out, which we don't want to do. I'd have to probably replace this. And if I replace that, then I'm thinking I need to cut these 4 quadrants apart. But I'm not going to know that until we start cutting stuff apart. So let me cut the top border off first. And that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. Okay, so there's that. Then I'll cut this border off because I need that piece of paper just under. And if I'm echoing tonight, it's because there are no longer any pictures on my wall in my scrapbook room. So I apologize in advance if that's echoey for you guys, but there's really no way to avoid it. I'm looking forward to new scrapbook room. For those of you who have seen my tour, my scrapbook room is in what was my dad's man cave. So I had deer heads on my wall, and I always threatened to put like little banners between their antlers and that kind of stuff, and I never did make that happen. But anyway, okay. So here's what that would look like if I replaced it. Now, the problem is it is a little too short, which I was kind of concerned about. I could just trim this all. My other thought is, do I cut these 4 quadrants apart and then just kind of play around? Like I could put the shells down here and this one here. That's kind of what I'm thinking I should do, is maybe just cut them apart and then pop them onto another piece of paper. Hey, Barbara. So I'm going to cut them apart. I'm going to be daring and figure out what to do here. And then I can play with spacing a little bit once they get cut apart. So this one was up here. I was thinking that one there. I do like the shells because sometimes we go shelling. I do like the flamingo piece of paper. So we're going to play with that to decide. And I'm thinking the color-wise, it would be better if like we had the browns kind of opposite each other there. And then, so I can do this up here to get that back in, or we can look at doing this piece, which I really love, and that would kind of echo kitty corner, catty corner. I think it's different in different areas of the country. Kind of like I'm from Wisconsin, and there's definitely, I even hear it in my own voice when I say it, I'm from Wisconsin. And we say bubbler in my area versus water fountain. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard that before, but it is the, in most parts of the country, that is a water fountain and a bubbler are the same. But in Wisconsin, a bubbler is something you drink out of. A water fountain is something you look at. Just kind of a little weird anomaly. Okay, so we have that done. Now, I'm thinking, hey Regina, welcome. I'm thinking that I can position the photo like maybe here somewhere, but I also think we need another color here to pop this off. I do like this because it brings in some of the creamy colors, but I also have a couple of other pieces. So here's yellow, but there's no yellow in here, so I don't like that. And then I also have this one too, which I do like. And then there's that one. I think I really like the stripe because it kind of sets the photo off. I'm looking for my ATG, guys. Hey, Barb, good to see you. I'll probably use a little bit more. Just trying to see if I can get this to go. Oh yeah, let's do this. We're gonna make a really narrow border. Because I'm, we read left to right, and in English-speaking countries, I usually like my stripes to go from left to right, even though oftentimes they go the other way. Just a personal thing. Don't worry about it if yours don't. That's my weirdness. Okay, so I'll tell you what this paper is in just a second, once I get this cut. I need to do a little chop on the border yet, because I may or maybe I don't, I have this probably on straight. Here's the thing is, I'm used to the ATG and being able to pull stuff off. I don't remember, I guess the Tombow's kind of forgiving here. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Okay. I'll just throw another piece down there. There we go. Okay. So basically the setup of this is going to look something like this. Now I could, if I wanted to, tilt that a little bit up to that top corner so I can get this in. Now the question is, what do you use behind this? Because obviously I could put it on another little piece of paper, because it's already showing a little bit short. So I could do it all on white, or I could do it on something with that blue in it. So I'm just going to go grab my blues and see if I even have anything that would be close to that. Because if I don't, then the white, it's going to be without a question. And I don't want to use a huge piece of paper if really show. So that would be maybe a vote for a blue. So I just pulled a couple of blues out to see what I thought. And I didn't tell you what this piece of paper was. So let me tell you what that is. That is Simple Stories from 2015. And I think it is that old too. It's Simple Stories Summer Vibes in the Just Beachy paper. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. If I put it on this, you're going to miss most of this pattern. So actually at that point, cardstock would make more sense now that I think about it. But maybe this will help me decide what color I want to do. So I brought navy over. I think you lose the sky in that one. But we also could use a craft behind this as well, besides the blues. Yeah, I'm thinking pattern paper, although I like the pattern paper, that's probably not the best idea for this particular layout because I'm losing it, the color. But I could also just do white, and maybe I'll do that because if I do craft, then I'm going to lose the edges of the sand and the shells, right? So here's the thing. Are we going to need to cut this? What do we think? Like this is too long. So what I could do, and then this one goes across here, because I could trim this whole thing down, or I could trim all these pieces of paper to the same sizes and just take it off like the edges here, or some sort of edge. And I think that's really what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to take 1/8 of an inch off of 2 sides of each of these squares so that it measures 5 7/8. However that works for you. And then I'll know that, you know, everything is the same. And some of these I will need to take a full 1/8 of an inch off, and others I do. This is really exciting watching this, right? Sorry, guys. It is exciting. Okay, there we go. And then this one doesn't really matter because it doesn't have a direction or a lot of that kind of stuff to it. So, and I can tell you guys, I know a lot of times I do too, just cutting is stressing my hand a little bit. So I think we'll just do one tonight. That's sad when scrapbooking is stressing your hand. Okay, so now here's the here's the tricky part, is getting this all arranged so it's straight. Now, of course, I do have like centering rulers and that kind of stuff, which would make this process a lot easier, but who wants to do that? I do find that this particular paper is slightly off. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to start from one edge. See, I'm still looking for my ATG. I'm going to start from one edge now that I know that this paper is this much off. Oh, and actually, if I put it here, well, it's not that off, really. It's just slightly, but not really. So I'm just going to bring this up. Let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, that's close enough. It's not going to be perfect unless I actually measure, and I'm not going to do that. Sometimes I do that, you guys see me, but not a lot. I really like the photos that or the photo reel papers that I decided to use here, because it represents things that we do when I'm there. And I think I've talked about that before, where you use sort of hidden messages, if nothing else, to yourself in your scrapbooks. So I did get to deliver my grandkids and stepkids scrapbooks last weekend. I have not heard if they've had a chance to look at them, but I was talking to my daughter-in-law. It was M#3's birthday party, which the poor girl, we didn't really get to do a birthday party with her, a little one. She was not feeling well. But when I dropped them off, we were talking about it, and I said, wait till you see it, because I know your year was filled with chaos, but man, all I see in these photos is love. And that's really true. It was pretty cool. That's such a privilege to be able to scrapbook those moments for them. Okay, so we now have this, and I'm going back and forth about where this should go, because I really like it about here in the scheme of all the photo reel papers, but if I do that, I'm almost lined up with that leg of the starfish, which is why I'm kind of thinking about over here. I'm also just looking at this. I want to throw another layer under here? No. Another layer maybe, but not that particular one. Okay, so I think that's good. And now I have to embellish. And I'm not sure where we're going with this because this is so photoreal. I always find that a little hard to play with. So what I'm going to do is grab my Blue Skies, Sunshine and Blue Skies from Simple Stories. And that's the Bits and Pieces, which is the embellishment pack. I'm just going to look and see what I have here. So I do have, oh, look at this. Here's a starfish. So that could be kind of a nice way. The bucket listing is kind of cute. So I'm not going to be scrapbooking this with photoreal because I don't have photoreal to do it with. Here's a little flower. Here's a little Soak Up the Sun, which is kind of ironic because it was a little chilly this year. And then I have more leaves, so I could use some of these. I don't have like oceany themes in here, other than, I guess there's a surfboard, but we don't surf. So, and I want to call this Florida Retreat, so I'll come back in here with some sort of letter stickers. There are flip-flops in here too, and we're running around in flip-flops a lot. And then I do have these palm trees. I've done this before with this die cut. I've just cut these apart because I don't run around with a hammock, and I'm wondering, maybe, I think I like the idea of doing that. Now I also do have the sticker sheet from this Sunshine and Blue Skies collection, so I think that would be fun to add some of those in here as well. Like, see, this is a lot of summertime, so Good Times would be good, and mermaid hair, because we didn't mermaid. It was sunny, so we could do that as well too, as if I maybe decide I want to scatter some stickers around. There we go. Not sure what I cut last, but oh my gosh, that's stuck. I guess I haven't scrapbooked in a little bit, right? I guess I was here last week, so I'm not quite sure why that's doing that, but anyway. These are the cutter peed scissors that are not Teflon or titanium, so they will stick. I'm just going to kind of, the other die cut here has an edge to it on the other side, so I'm going to do that. And there is a little piece where the hammock kind of went in, but I'm okay with that. Like where it was tied, that's what I wanted. That's the word I wanted, was tied. I'm going to do that. And there we go. Okay. So actually, now this would work better on that side. And I could do like Soak Up the Sun. I'm actually kind of liking the difference between the realistic and the not realistic piece here. So let's take these off. And here's my little starfish. So we can put him there. Okay, and maybe the flip-flops down here, because we know we're going to put the retreat here, and then I could pop these up a little bit. Let me see if there's anything else. There's no like water here or anything. Like, there is a pair of sunglasses I could add in somewhere, like maybe at the edge of that. Okay, so let's get gluing. I'm not used to using these anymore, so I'm like, what side am I gluing with this? I will tell you, though, it's a very satisfying noise. Way more satisfying than my ATG. Okay, so these guys there. So what I'm going to do is just hold this and I'll put it on the paper and stick it to that. There we go. I don't think this is as forgiving when you peel it as the ATG is, so I do have to be a little bit careful about that. Okay, so we're going to do this, and then that, like that, and then I was thinking that pair of sunglasses. There is a pair of flip-flops that are a little bit smaller, but I think I like it with these. Okay, so let's get this guy down. Yeah. I am forever going to be doing the wrong side of this. There we go. Amazing that something so simple can be so easily forgotten. Okay, then I want to overlap those a little bit, but I also want to add that in there so that that pops up a little bit. Let's pop that one down there. So they're kind of overlapping. I think I said this before, but I really, once in a while, like to really challenge myself with a paper that I find a little bit hard. And that's what this is for me, the photoreal papers. Okay, now I also just realized that I don't have a journaling spot anywhere on here. And the only journaling spot I think that comes with this is, well, at least that I have left, is this watermelon piece here, which doesn't work. So we're going to have to put a label in there. I'm going to look at this. This is a weird pack. This is from 2019, this collection. And it's a lot of people, like you were in a pool. And I find I don't use it all that often. I think I've used like the inner tubes and that kind of stuff out of here, but not much more than that. And we don't do floaties in the ocean because literally where we are boating a lot of times there are sharks. And I don't want them chewing on my toes. Okay, so I'm thinking just this little piece right here, so that will be easy. I'll just put a little spot in the center there. So I am moving, guys, which means you will get a new scrap room tour eventually. One of the things I am going to do, though, is right now I have 2 calyx units from IKEA. I have one that's 4x4 and one that's 2x4, and they sit together and they come out. So if there's a wall in my room here, and then the room is kind of this shape, but this, if you walk past here, it goes back to a bedroom and a basement door. So my calyx sits here coming out from the wall with the 2 and the 4 units together. But I have so many scrapbook albums that I'm starting to lose space for stuff. So I have a really small 3rd bedroom that my treadmill's going to go in. And then my intention is that I'm going to get a 5x5 white calyx, and that's where my albums will go. And I'm very excited about that. But of course, IKEA's out of them right now. So I did look, and it looks like they're coming back in next week, that they think they're going to have them. They were, I think they got hung up in that whole problem in the Suez Canal, honestly, in all seriousness. Okay, so just looking for a piece to journal on. I'm thinking either I'll do like just a piece up here that's a little bit bigger, or I could do the Soak Up the Sun as well. So I mean, I could do something like this. Actually, if I did this, I'd probably hide one of these pieces. So something more like that. So I have, these are the little Cropper Hopper, if you're new here, the little Cropper Hopper, or actually these are Michael's photo cases. And I use these more for storing embellishments than I do actual photos. It's kind of a normal thing. I like that one too, but I think we already have that one done there. This is a nice long one that I could kind of embellish and then do the green. So that might work. I'm not finding a lot of big ones here, although I have a lot to go through, right? So So I've just cut these apart. The big ones have those weird boxes on them, so they're really not all that big. This is kind of cool too because this is a weekend thing. So let me see if I can get that in there somewhere. And if I can't, that's fine. I think I like that big long one there, and I always can cut that down a little bit. I'll show you that in just a second. Oops. I want to do this. I think this might be too late for this weekend fun, which has happened more than once when I've used this. I don't really want to cover the starfish here, so yeah, unfortunately, because I go for a long weekend when we do this. This needs almost something else here, and maybe I could do that with the word strips. So there's a little good times one here. Let's pop that there. And that gives me that green that I'm working with in a lot of places here as well too. Ooh, I've got to take my my undo. So my undo here to get the whatever the stickies. I've got some sticky stuff on my blade there because every time I close my blade, it's hard to open it. And since well, actually these will be one of the things I throw in my crop bags because I use those all the time. All the things that I use all the time. So what I'm thinking about, instead of making it go all the way across here, which feels like a lot of that photo, I'm thinking about just taking it to this maybe here. So let me just make a little cut here. And then we'll glue it down from there. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's not a ladybug, but I have an Asian beetle crawling on my mat. See her? We get these when it gets warm in my area. Let me just pick her up. Oops. Now she went off on another side and just put her over to the side there. We don't need her in here. Okay, so I could do the suck up the sun and get the little yellow in there. Or I could bring in some flowers. And I also have a really small flower. Let me see what I think about that. I'm going to see if I can find there it is, my little tweezers, because that way then I think I get to look at this and see how I could go over here. I think it's a lot on that photo. So I do have another, I could do just a leaf, but I also have this little tiny small flower here. And I like that because I get the tropical and I get that peachy color in here that's over here as well without doing another, like a bigger one. Yeah, Barbara, undo is wonderful, isn't it? It takes off, like I use it. You can use it if you get glue on your photo. And this is the new stuff. The old stuff used to be better, but they couldn't, I think it was banned in California or something like that. It was not environmentally sound or good for our lungs, I think. So this is the new version, but it still does a pretty good job of taking sticky stuff off. Okay, so I think we have that done. We have that done. We need something here. And I'm thinking some tile letter stickers. Let's see what we have. And I just pulled this out, and there's this color, which kind of appears here. Or I have all of these wonderful blues. Let's see what else I might have in these blues. These are old letter stickers. Old, old, old. So there's that one, which I actually like as a better match to those than this one. And then I have that one. And then this one, which is of a kind of a match to back up there. I think, though, I don't want the retreat sticking out quite so big if I can help it. So let's see if I can make retreat with these letters. Sorry, I'm gonna have to do capital, I think. I can. I'm going to do it with these, but I'm going to have to use a capital R for the first one, which is fine. And let's see. So here's my little secret, because I want to look at spacing. I just count out the letters because they're not any bigger. And these are going to start a little bit. And then once I get one down, it's not such a big deal. So you guys, I have something really fun planned tomorrow night. You guys know I'm vaccinated. And most of my friends have at least one vaccine. So far, I am going to go see friends tomorrow. A group of us are going to get together. There'll be 6 of us. We have not seen each other in over a year. I've seen some of them. Last summer, we would get together outside. 3 of us would. But most of them I've not seen in over a year. And they're very close friends of mine. So I am so excited about that. Just that we're getting to a place as Wisconsin numbers are going up again, but we're all safe. And like I said, most of us are vaccinated at least once. So we're feeling a little bit safer. It'll be nice when we're all completely vaccinated, but I think I'm actually, now that I think about it, I think I'm the only one that's fully vaccinated. Because I'm the only one who's like a healthcare worker or anything like that. But oh my gosh, to see friends again. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay. And then the last T. All right. So there we go. And I really like the way that blue looks. So this is kind of cool. I'm liking the way that this is, I mean, it's a photoreal paper. And, you know, using that, I just don't use them all that often. And so it's nice to have something and to be able to combine things that are photoreal and not. Now, there's one more thing I think we need here, and we need some sort of enamel dot or something like that, because this needs a little bit of something. I don't know what. And I forgot about like our mermaid hair thing, because we're definitely having some mermaid hair. If I move that flower, I could pop that mermaid hair up in here. So I think I will do that. So the flower, well, that actually worked pretty well. Could go there, or it could go up here. And I think I'll just pop that there. So we get that done. And then let me see if I want to add anything else here. The SPF 50 would be cute, because that would be me. And I literally, on this adventure, had SPF 50 going on. Wondering if I should get this yellow up in here. Hold on. Maybe if I tuck it up in here. I know, Barb, trust me, I have a hard time using these too. And really, when this friend of mine bought all these for me, and I have them in spring and summer and vacations and a lot of different things, I was like, what am I going to do with these? I don't use these kinds of papers, but I've been challenging myself to use them, which I think is cool. Okay, let's get that little mermaid hair sticker down in there. And so it's been kind of fun that, you know, I'm doing something different. So just looking, I mean, there is a little tropical sticker down here, but ironically, it wasn't very tropical. But let's put it on here anyway. I just like the color and kind of extending that. So this totally tonight was an experiment. I didn't know if this was going to work. So, especially because not only am I using photoreal papers, but I used a quadrant photoreal paper that I did cut up. If you missed that, I had 2 papers that were exactly the same, and I cut them up so that I could use the 4 quadrants that were the most meaningful to me with both this trip and this layout. So now I think some enamel dots would be good. And I'm just going to look and see if I have, like, so just a little FYI, you guys, I've loved these Altenew, and I might use these actually. That would be great on here probably. These Altenew enamel dots, and you get 163 of them. They're mostly the dots. You get a couple stars and a couple hearts, but mostly the dots. I actually just went out and bought a bunch of these because I'm running out of colors. I know I still have this basket, but I am running out of some of the colors, and these have 4 different shades of a color, and I think I bought like 5 or 6 of these, so from their website, because they just came out with some new colors. So that's why I did that. Actually, these are kind of nice because I like the way they work with the turquoise and some of these waters and things. So let's use those, and that would help me use some of these up. So Barbara says she has a bunch of the photoreal papers from her New York trip. So that would be fun. I think I have ones with London and that she bought me. I have, I don't know. I have quite a few different ones anyway. So that's going to be kind of a fun thing to try to figure out how to use those up. So I'm going to start out with one of these dots in each of the clusters. And I could put this flower popped up. I think I'm going to, because I didn't pop anything up there either, but I think I'll pop that flower up. I should learn to stop closing my little cutter bee piece there. Okay, and where did I go with the flower? There it is. I almost lost it there. This will enable me to tuck that other enamel dot kind of behind it too. So anyway, so challenge yourself to use your photoreal papers just to do something a little different. And now we know that you can, these are more whimsical things that are combined with them, and they look okay. I was really afraid this could be a big disaster in all seriousness. So now my question is, do I pop this starfish off a little bit? I think the answer to that is yes. So this enamel dot has to come off. And this is going to be a little fun because it's a starfish. So I'm going to cut really narrow pieces here. And that wasn't even close to narrow enough, but just to get the starfish legs. I think they have legs. Cut them really thin here. I have my little dish here that was my grandmother's on her dresser. That was from Ireland. And that grandmother was not Irish at all. But she had that dish. And so I used that to pop my little odds and ends into, and which, there's something I have to think about. How am I packing that? Because I've got all those odds and ends sitting in there that I was supposed to be using up. So I did break my self-imposed stash freeze, not a spending freeze, a stash freeze. And it's just a stash freeze because I was moving. And I'm going to keep that going because I don't need to be acquiring more stuff right now. I need to use some of what I had. I've told this story about in September of 2019, I put myself on a stash freeze. And it was so good. I bought some Christmas, and then I put myself on a anything other than adhesive. I think that was it. I don't think I bought anything else. Like I didn't buy enamel dots or anything like that. And it was going so well. And then stay-at-home orders hit. And I started watching a lot of scrapbooking things live. And one Friday afternoon, I was watching Victoria Marie, and she was encouraging it. And then Rachel Reynolds broke her stash freeze, and my partner in crime for Stash Bash, which is on hold at the moment. Yeah. And then it all went heck after that, honestly. Oh, I'm missing one. Oh, here it is. Okay, I've got a sassy starfish here, you guys. Anyway, so then I was bad too. And I never went back to it again. And about a month or so ago, I thought, I have got to freeze my stash again. This is ridiculous. Okay, so I really do kind of like him sitting up on that a little bit there. I've got one here, I've got one here. So I've got one in 3 quadrants. This one doesn't have one, but I don't think it needs it. Okay, so we have that. Let's get one under here. And then I'll put one there. And I think I'll put 3 in each area. 1 large and then small ones after that, because I have more small ones left than anything else. That's the biggest reason. Okay, so we have that one. Probably want one up in there somewhere. And now, in this case, let's bring our starfish in here on the background. And then this one will go up here. And I think I'm just going to put them in the 3 quadrants. And I think I'll just pop that one out there. Okay, I don't think we're gonna put any down here because I don't have any extra pieces on there. Okay. Cynthia. So Cynthia just said she came on and she heard, I've got to freeze my stash, and said, this is ridiculous. Well, that would be true, except I am moving and you are not. So that would be why my stash has to freeze for a little bit. Until I get my other calyx unit, which hopefully is going to happen. I was having a little chat with my little, the guy I'm dating now, and we were talking about, I was talking about just moving and stuff like that. And I was talking about IKEA and that kind of stuff, and how I wanted to get a calyx unit. And he said, well, I'm thinking about looking for a couch. And so we decided we're going to have a date day to IKEA. And I said, but we can't do it until at least next weekend because the calyx won't be in stock. And then whose car are we taking? Now that I think about it, we might need both cars, because if we're getting a calyx and a sofa, we need both cars. And Kelly needs shoe racks. They have these awesome shoe racks, because my shoe racks are ridiculous. They're falling apart. Some of them are very old. So, okay, you guys. So there is the layout for tonight. The photoreal paper from Reminisce, the Florida cut apart paper that I cut apart the quadrants. Here's the other 4 quadrants still sitting here into things that I thought I could use. And so and all of it started kind of because this Florida map. Oh, Barbara, I think I've outed myself about him before. We started dating a little while ago. So, but yes, Unu guy is nice. He's, you know, obviously I'm dating him, but I'm very smitten with him, and I think he feels the same about me. So we've known each other for a while. We met 2 years ago at a dinner that some friends had, but hello pandemic. So anyway, so yeah, so fun, just something really fun and different with the layout tonight. So I am going to call it done at 1, just because if you guys missed this, I have an intern this week at work, and so it's actually wasn't too bad, you know, just putting stuff together, but cutting anything is a little stressful on it, and I want to try to rest it so that it can heal, because I have to work next week, because the cats are not going out to get a job. I keep talking about them to and they just are not doing that. So anyway, so that's it. Journal up here. We've got our title down here. And I love the way this looks. And I didn't know if this is going to work out. This is one of those fun experiments that sometimes it actually does. So, like I said, this may be our last live until I am actually moved. And I'm thinking that means, you know, mid-May, probably earliest. But I don't know. You know, I can never tell exactly how that's going to go. I know I'm going to need to start scrapbooking, because I can't go that long without scrapbooking. But we'll see if I can get set up to do a live and how quickly. But I also might Thanks, Barbara. I was laughing about it. I said, yeah, that's what late 50s looks like, is you do stupid stuff. Well, actually, I didn't do anything stupid, but you do something and then you can't recover from it fast enough. But anyway, I lost my train of thought here. I'll be scrapbooking anyway, and I'll pop on if I can, because I am going to save some scrapbook supplies out so I have them ready to go, or if I need a little break, I have them. I have two, I have a We Are Memory Keepers and a Cropper Hopper crop bag. A friend of mine gave me her Cropper Hopper bag, and then I have that, the little tray that I kept my Schmel stash kit in. So I'll put those all to good use, decide what I'm going to take, and then kind of go from there. The cool thing is I remember the crop bags. I'm like, oh, wait, I can do 2 crop bags and just take them to my new apartment and, you know, let them hide out in the closet until I'm ready for them, if that's what I want to do. So that was a cool realization. That, and I need to remember that I need my little labels, right? Because I scrapbooked with a friend a couple of weeks ago and forgot these, and I was lost because I didn't know how to journal. So anyway, you guys, hope you guys are all well. I will have videos up every Tuesday and Saturday, just like normal. The only thing that might be different is lives, whether I do them or not in the next month or so. So if nothing else, I might just pop in and say hello to you guys, because I'm going to miss you if I don't talk to you at all. And I was thinking, boy, I could do an album walkthrough. No, I can't, because my albums are packed, except for the current ones I'm working on for myself and for my grandkids, because I need to put some late albums in there. So anyway, all right, you guys, I think I've said goodbye to you 3 times already. So thanks for joining me tonight. Have a great weekend wherever you are, and I will be back at some point. So bye, everybody.